How do you ace an HR intern interview and ensure you get the job? Hi there, my name is Josh. I'm the founder of HR University. And this lesson's goal is to list many common interview questions that you'll get applying to become an HR intern. But before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and that way you don't miss any of our lessons on how to become a great HR professional. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the requirements to become an HR intern to ensure you're ready for the interview questions. So in general, you need to have at least a bachelor's degree in HR, or at least enrolled in a program to get one. And next, sound understanding of all basic processes such as recruitment, payroll, employee onboarding, offboarding, employee relations, and career path is important, especially when it comes to the interview process and getting a quick start on the job. Moreover, certification in human resources will help you nourish your HR skills, enhance your resume, and increase the chances to secure a permanent position after the internship ends. In addition to all of these, an HR intern must have familiarity with labor legislation rules, federal and government employment laws to exhibit strong legal compliance knowledge, which is mandatory for any HR professional to have. And the first category is problem-solving questions. You have to deal with many problems during an average workday as an HR intern, so let's list the most common questions. And the first that we have here is, what is your approach to pinpointing a problem and creating a solution? Then how would you assess departmental efficiency and effectiveness? And how do you choose from multiple solutions based on constraints like budget and time? And as an intern, you'll work under senior HR professionals. Although your job is to implement the solution based on instructions, the team will want to know that you're proactive and can pinpoint and solve problems yourself. And if you have previous experience solving organizational issues, describe the process and the results. And if you don't, that's fine too. Remember, you're applying for an intern position and nobody expects you to have the experience of an HR director. And in that case, you want to answer by saying how you would contribute to solving the problem. For example, I think the easiest way to pinpoint a problem here is by noticing any slowdowns in the work productivity. In that case, I'd consult my team to figure out what's causing the decrease. I don't think it's good to hurry, since in HR there can be many causes for the same problem. After finding the reason, I'd report to my team manager first and offer a solution based on my assessment. And finally, based on the manager's feedback, I'd then plan my next step. And next here we have, how would you assess departmental efficiency and effectiveness? Whenever you get a question about efficiency tracking, you want to answer by talking about data. There are a lot of different metrics in HR, but regarding efficiency, mention data such as productivity rate, turnover rate, engagement rate, and retention rate. And ensure you know more about each specific rate in case the interviewer follows by asking about any of them. And the last thing you want is to give a great answer and follow it up with uncomfortable silence. You want to show off your confidence. And here's another question where, as an intern, you don't need to go into too much detail, since nobody expects someone applying for an intern position to make big decisions alone. But an interviewer might ask you such a question to assess your willingness to contribute to problem solving. And proper budget assessments require calculations such as measuring the opportunity costs or marginal analysis. You want to answer this question in a way that clarifies your willingness to contribute to the solution. An example of the answer is, I understand that a lot goes into assessing the best solution, and that it's not wise to pick a solution based on subjective opinion. Instead, I would use data and consult with my HR seniors to find the best solution. And we can also use opportunity costs and marginal analysis if necessary. And similar to the previous question, if you mention any specific tool such as marginal analysis, well, then be sure that you have more to say about it than just the analysis name. And next we have our interpersonal skills related questions. And every HR professional interacts with coworkers. Therefore, HR interns need interpersonal skills. And the common interpersonal skills questions are, how do you take criticism? How do you mediate conflict in the workplace? And whenever an interviewer asks you how you take criticism or feedback, you feel like you know what you have to say. Well, you listen and do your best to improve. Now, while that's true, and you should start your answer with that, you can expand on the response to leave a better impression. And after initial answer, expand on the previous examples of taking criticism and positive results that followed. And everybody makes mistakes, and there's nothing wrong in admitting that you made them too. What matters is that the criticism resulted in something that benefited the company. So in answering, give an example of received criticism, what your response was, and most importantly, what were the benefits of your response. And it's the HR manager's job to mediate conflicts, but there will be situations where you end up in such a situation and you must react. And instead of a compulsive reaction, your answer can consist of the following steps. First, you'd have people involved sit down and have a mediator discuss the conflict. And next, each party describes their view on the conflict with zero interruptions from the other party. Then, it's a mediator's job to gather insight and find common ground. And finally, the mediator's job is to have both parties agree on the provided solution. And by answering this question, you not only make it clear that you know how to resolve a conflict, but also know your role if you're involved in the conflict. And finally, we have technical skills related questions. An internship gives experience with tools used in HR, but you still need basic knowledge before you get the job as an intern. And some of the common technical skills related questions are, do you have any experience with drafting emails with different templates and formats? What is DBMS used for? Or an HRIS used for? And the first question, do you have any experience drafting emails? Well, in HR, activities such as drafting emails and creating Excel sheets are daily tasks, so expect such or similar questions to pop up. And although a straightforward question, provide as much insight into your experience as possible. And often answering such a question depends on your experience. Still, crucial aspects of a good answer are the tools you use, your experience with different templates and situations, and your email templates, efficiency, and results. And you can just give comparables to things that you've used outside of HR if this is your first HR position that you're applying for. Again, the interviewer might ask about data sheets or job descriptions instead of email templates. In that case, talk about tools, experience, and results for those tasks. And you can even say, I ran this organization and I was looking for this person to come and join my organization and I put this job description up. So it doesn't have to be within an organization such as a company. It could be within a school organization if this is your first job. And DBMS stands for Database Management System, and HRIS stands for Human Resource Information Management System. And some interviewers are tricky and use DBMS instead of the full name to see if you know what they're talking about. So make sure to look out for that. In short, a database management system is an application system used to collect, store, define, and use data. Same with an HRIS. And HR professionals use such systems to store, update, and retrieve data when necessary. For interns, companies provide training if it's a technical job position. And since data management is a technical task, you must show a basic understanding of what it is and what it's used for. And some interviewers might follow up with questions such as why a company should use a DBMS, or what is the purpose of normalization in a DBMS or HRIS. So make sure you're ready. And there we have it. We just went over a number of HR intern interview questions and the best way to answer them. And if you feel like you have a better understanding of how to do just that, make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel, and that way you can keep up to date with all of our lessons on how to become a great HR professional. And again, my name is Josh Vector. I'm the founder of HR University, and I'll go ahead and see you in some of our following lessons. Cheers.